Hey everybody, Simone here as always with some ideas and insights for what to pay attention to when you are getting ready or you're in the process of scaling your business. So look, I just read this really incredible piece of research about how aligned teams drive twice the money. So aligned teams enable you to double your financial results. Let me say that again. Sustained alignment on vision, purpose, and strategy enjoy a 2x multiplier effect on financial performance. And they studied this with over 200 something companies. So this is really a very important piece because that means this is the crux to beat your growth paradox. And the growth paradox means, hey, what worked in the past won't work anymore in the future. Those are all the things that don't seem like they're super important, but without them, you will not be able to build that sustainable, aligned, and able to grow company, right? So the same team practices that you've been employing in the past won't work in the future. And a lot of our clients, they haven't had a whole lot of team practices. Everything kind of just developed and worked the way it was, but there was not a whole lot of thought or conscious planning around it. And that is something that absolutely must change when you're going for exponential growth. So part of that means you have to start focusing on non-traditional KPIs, because that's the only way to exceed and support your current results. So exceeding your revenue, retaining your talent, building that enduring business, all these things that you need, the non-traditional KPIs you have to pay attention to are clarity, super elusive, alignment, what the heck is that? And commitment between all your team members. So this is where we're looking at alignment between all the different layers in your organization. Part of that is, you might have really good connection with your direct leaders, but they don't really understand how to be leaders. They're more the manager type. They haven't really taught how to be leaders. So there's a lot of intel, a lot of communication, a lot of really important information that gets lost between the layers. So you might be good like in the upper two, but then everybody else is kind of murky and in the woods and pretty confused. So this is true for all industries. This is true for all size of companies, that driving that principle of alignment enables you to double your financial results. So the first thing that has to happen is we have to make sure that the top leadership team is in the best shape possible. So it always starts with the top, and the faster the growth generally means the less cohesion we have in the leadership team, in between the different layers, because when everybody's going fast, we start seeing silos. So there's no connection between the teams and between the layers. So now we're getting disjointed, and cohesion isn't even a word we can use anymore. So when we have leadership team cohesion, it is indicated by having strong connection, having strong trust, having collaboration happening in between your people, having direct conversations, challenging each other, enjoying conflict, positive conflict, enjoying accountability. And when you have those indirect KPIs in place, that means you're 3x more likely, they're 3x more likely to inspire their own teams to build these financial results that you're looking for. So high performance teams build and maintain trust. They increase competence. They're reliable, and all of these things, when you think about what it means to have trust, when we discuss this, then we can address it. So having trust and building trust through collaboration, through direct conversations, through accountability, then we can actually discuss what's going on with that piece, and then we can increase it and make it a lot more functional. So we need to build that to have the leadership capacity go across all the different layers of the organization. We need to build that strong connection, the trust. And when we do that, the sense of financial capacity and opportunity is tripled across all the teams. So that might sound like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, but what it basically means is when you have great leaders in all different positions leading, everybody is being led consciously with purpose and with that sense of trust and connection. It means that your team is more likely to drive 3x the financial results and believe in the company, that the company is actually able to do that. You'll probably have, many of us will have experienced that feeling when you set a big, hairy, audacious goal, a big BHAG, and you present this to your team and they look at you kind of blankly and you're wondering, did they hear me or do they believe I'm completely full of it and they don't believe a word of what I'm saying? So this is part of not having those layers of trust and cohesion in place, because you can say whatever they want. If they don't believe that this can actually happen, the chances for it to happen are pretty unlikely. So this strong connection and trust needs to be built. And we need to make sure that we prioritize these leadership principles, that we prioritize leadership development, because when we have leaders on all levels, it also guards and carries the culture. And the culture, as you have heard me say multiple times, it's how people behave when nobody's looking. That means you don't have to micromanage people, you don't have to manage people, period, because they are managing themselves, they're leading themselves. So we have to build leadership principles that guard and carry your culture, which means it takes so much pressure off your top tier leaders, your top executives, and you as a business owner, because you are not the only ones responsible anymore for this culture, for this high performance culture to drive and build your business, because every single person on your team is bought into this with you. So we got to pay attention to that. Then some businesses think they have this great alignment. They have, these are the good companies. They think they're aligned on vision and purpose, but it's still not going. And we see this a lot of times. We have great clients who come in, they already have their vision and their purpose figured out, and it's still not working. And they're coming to us asking the question, hey, why is it not working? We're doing all this stuff already. It's because they're misaligned between their strategies and structure. So when you have a team, especially when it's a distributed team, so not everybody's in the same place, people may have different hours, so we're not on top of each other all the time. If we're not driving the same system and the same strategies and the same structures, everybody is doing things the best way they know, and that generally means they're misaligned, they're not driving the same priorities and results. That also means you're not going to get the financial gain that you're hoping for, and you're wasting a lot of time, money, and resources overall. So we have to make sure that everybody is following the same strategies and structures so that the teams or your team members don't get in each other's way. And what we teach our clients, one way to avoid that is by having a super powerful meeting structure where everybody gets aligned and stays aligned every single week, focused on your operational plan, where your initiatives and goals and priorities get redefined and reorganized every week so that we have a direct strategy that everybody is following. So your team meetings, when they're done properly, are an incredible tool to make sure that you have alignment across all the different functions, not just around vision and purpose, which is nice, but it's not everything. It's just the beginning. So when we want to get it right, when we really want to focus on building these high performance teams, we have to have that clear operational plan that I keep talking about. And this is not simple. This is not easy to do. It's simple to do, but it does require a lot of intention and following a specific structure. And focus, your heightened focus is really all the way on clarity, conviction, and alignment, which are the most important leadership disciplines. So a lot of times new clients, they come in, they say, hey, you know what? I just want to hire a second in command to take care of this operational stuff so I can just focus on building the company. And it's a good thought. It's a logical thought. However, when the structure, the alignment, and the system doesn't start at the top, you may be hiring all these like expensive teams, expensive talent, consultants, people to help you with that. But when it doesn't start with the top, it means it doesn't get implemented consistently. And that's really the winning formula. It needs to be consistently implemented across all the different levels in the organization. So it has to start at the top. There has to be that, to get that senior leadership team cohesion, we need to make sure that we have that connection, that trust, that collaboration, and the directness, direct conversations. There can't be any fear in place, because that creates the accountability and the trust across all the different levels that drives that cohesion, not just in the leadership team, but across all the different layers. So when we have that in place, it makes every aspect of business more effective. It starts at the top, but as I keep emphasizing, it must cascade down through all the different levels of organization. And we teach a very specific planning process that is that. And we do this very differently from anybody else. But this is the process that makes the difference between constantly having to monitor everybody and people being owners of their own outcomes that are aligned on all the different levels. They're aligned on all the different strategies and systems. So everybody's in sync with each other. So neural resonance happens, which is a very cool new concept that has been discovered. I don't know who discovered it, but it basically means that people are in sync with each other because they are so used to operating the same way, and they're in alignment with their belief systems that a lot less conversation has to happen because we're inherently aligned. So we need to make sure that everybody is following the same vision, the same strategy, and the same roadmap, because otherwise this cannot work. So when we have that in place, that creates an incredible conviction to inspire the rest of the team, which we always need. And then we need to make sure that we consistently realize the vision, grow leaders to really achieve that potential that we have, the potential of talent and the potential of business. So alignment really is that hidden key to success. I mean, during a time when 35% of new businesses don't survive the first 2 years, and only 50% of new businesses go beyond year 5, this is the difference between not surviving and thriving. So I hope all this makes a huge difference for you. Make sure you check out our new training that's out. Go to bulletproofbusinessgrowth.com/leap, bulletproofbusinessgrowth.com/leap. Check out the new training, and we will see you soon.